lot of talk about the Nuggets as an opponent. It's been a while since opening night, and you actually have a couple days heading into this matchup. You don't always get that luxury. Is there any, I don't know, does it get everybody's attention up a little bit to be playing the defending champs tomorrow?
Absolutely. Had a good film session, a lot of good dialogue. Ways, we can be better trying to guard them and stop them in what they're trying to do, and ways we can be effective offensively in terms of attacking them. And so it's good. Got a chance to get in the theater, go over a nice film, and again have some really productive dialogue, as well as getting out on the floor and walking through some things, some defensive breakdowns, offensive breakdowns. So we'll be in a good place tomorrow.
How are things looking at camp?
Just going along, according to plan. It's a day-by-day thing. And, he'll see the doctors tomorrow night, and we'll go from there.
We'll see what you on the floor at practice.
We'll see the doctors tomorrow, and we'll go from there.
Devin, what's the goal going forward up to the All-Star break?
I mean, just to maximize every day. We don't want to chain ourselves to, we're going to do this if we do that, or if we coulda, woulda, shoulda game. We just approach each day. It was a very productive day today, and we'll try to make tomorrow productive as well.
What are some of the keys in the Denver matchup, specifically to that, and some of the things you're trying to focus on?
I mean, they're such a high-level team. They've been together. They play in a great rhythm. Obviously, Jokic, Jamal Murray, but their ability to individually and as a duo, with a lot of pressure on your defense, as well as their supporting cast. They play a high level of basketball, and again, they're so in tune with one another where you just can't get discouraged. You got to have a next play mentality, and that's what I told the group in the film session, that one of the most impressive things that I've seen with our recent success in winning 3 in a row is we've had an elite level next play mentality, and they're going to force you to have one tomorrow. They're that good, and just try to be solid, stay disciplined. You have to throw some different pitches at them, but just staying disciplined, having a next play mentality is the two biggest keys, along with multiple efforts as well.
Coach, with the trade deadline being tomorrow, you've said many times before that you're happy with the guys you have, and you also trust management, whatever they decide to do. But do you think there'll be a sense of relief maybe when all this is over, like the day after the trade deadline, that knowing what you got going forward?
Once something, the door's closed on something, you have that much more clarity. But I mean, we've been doing well. We're in a great space. You can't worry about things you can't control, and you can't focus on the unknown. What I know is we won 3 really good games in a row. Guys are in a good place. We're in a good rhythm. We're going to plan on getting some guys back healthy here pretty soon. Anything else is irresponsible to speak.
Was everybody that was available in Charlotte able to participate today in practice?
Not everyone. Just about everyone.
Who was held out? Who was unable to participate today?
D'Lo did participate. He had something that had been pre-planned for him to go through, just a tune-up procedure, but he's in a great place.
He had it today or yesterday?
It was yesterday.
And how does that affect his status for tomorrow?
We'll see.
Darvin, I know that you say that you're going to treat each game kind of the same. You don't get too high or too low on any one game. But with the Kobe unveiling and the defending champions, is there any additional pressure or talk about just kind of wanting to live up or kind of give homage to the legacy of Kobe, and especially with it being the home game as well?
Obviously, it's well deserved. The impact he made on the league, and more specifically, this franchise, this community. This is excellence across the board, on the court, off the court. It's going to be a monumental day. It's going to be very much well deserved. Time to reflect and be thankful for everything he provided that we got to witness. Again, just his impact feel them every day when you walk in these buildings, when you walk in that arena. And now to have a staple outside of it that we can all recognize and appreciate, I think it's huge. Thanks.
You guys lost in the Western Conference Finals to Denver, opened up the season with a loss there. Being a bunch of competitors, what do you look forward to about the matchup with them tomorrow?
They're going to try to win. That's the name of the game, is to win, and that's what we're looking to do tomorrow.
Coming off of 3 big road game wins, how important is that kind of momentum as you kind of go back home, playing on the day of the Kobe statue unveiling and playing against the champions?
Yeah, I mean, we had a good road trip. Obviously, the Houston and Atlanta game, we wish we could have back. At least win one of those and go 5-1. But like you said, we had 3 big, wins. Really the end of that Charlotte game's tough, just because it's the end of such a long road trip, and everybody's tired, ready to go home, see your family. But like you said, it's a good trip. And for tomorrow, we're just looking to, like I said, compete and win. Obviously, I know the team, defending champs, and we're looking to go, win our 4th in a row.
Darvin said a next play mentality, that's something he preaches a lot. It's going to be important tomorrow. How important is that in this specific matchup with just the way that you guys can play perfect defense for 23 seconds and then Jokic hits a moon ball shot that you have to go on for the next possession?
Yeah, I mean, you got to do it. It's frustrating, but that's what really good players do. They make big time shots. You look back into the playoffs last year. Him and Murray both made some shots that I don't think you could literally do anything else better defensively. They just made tough shots, and those situations are kind of deflating. And last year, I think, if you go back and look at it, might have carried over into a possession or 2 later. This year I feel like we've done a good job of when that stuff happens, moving on and just worrying about what's in front of you, not when it happens.
Looking at the matchups, you're probably going to be matched up against Jamal. What's the challenge of that, and what have you learned from going up against him last year again on opening day?
I mean, just how good of a competitor he is, and they are as a team, and the common goal at the end of the day for them is to win. And they play a really good brand of basketball, and we've got 2 guys leading the group that are so unselfish and play the game the right way. It's a beautiful thing, and you just got to go compete defensively, and you're not going to do it with one person. You got to do it as a collective group. So it'll be fun to compete. Thank y'all.
Yeah, it's been a while since you guys faced. Just, I guess, what's been the keys they talked about going into tomorrow?
Yeah, we haven't played them since the first game of the season, I think, but they've been playing really well. I think they're top 4 in the West or something like that. So for us, we're pretty familiar with them. We played them all last year in the playoffs, and then we got guys that can compete with them. They're a really good team. We got Jokic and Murray as the 2 guys that are ahead of the snake, and we got 2 guys as well. So for us, just competing, building on what we did. The first game of the season we played against them. I think we can have a better second half from that game, and then just going to the game looking to win.
What are the keys against them that you've learned over the last few months?
Jokic and Murray pick and roll is really, really effective for them, and they got shooters on the backside like KCP, Michael Porter Jr. They got guys that can really stretch the floor too, and Eric Gordon's obviously a load to handle too. So they got one of the best starting 5s in the league. And so for us, we just got to come out strong. We got to come out with a good start. We can't get in a hole early. Against a team like that, it'll be hard to come out of it. So for us, we just got to play with energy. Match their intensity. Match their starting force. And then down the stretch, in our second unit, and then as well as shooting the ball, we got to do a good job defensively.
You'll probably be matched up with Jamal at some point in the game. How do you prepare for that matchup?
A guy like him, you just got to make it tough. He takes a lot of tough mid-ranges, and he's really capable of making a lot of them. He can get hot. he did a lot of that in the playoffs for us or against us. He got hot. He got on a good shooting streak a lot of times. So for me, if I do match him against him, my goal is just to make as tough as I can for him. Force him into some tough mid-range twos, some contested threes. And yeah, for a player like him, who's skilled and elite like that, you just got to make as tough as you can.
Obviously, I see tomorrow the team's Kobe Bryant statue. Growing up, what are your favorite memories of him, or just images come to your mind?
Yeah, my favorite memory is his last game. I remember watching that. He played Utah. Scored 60 points. It was just a really fun game for me to watch as a young kid. And now coming here, playing for the organization that he played for. It's just, it's been a dream come true for me just to play for the Lakers, and then obviously Kobe Bryant getting this, statue unveiled tomorrow is gonna be really cool too. And we got our special jerseys for that game too, so I'm looking forward to that.
Obviously, there's a lot of iconic images, moments of his. Is there like a single one that you think of when you think of Kobe?
He's got a lot of fist pumping, ones. Those are obviously really good. I think, him ripping his jersey to the side is probably one of the most iconic for me. I watch that, on social media all the time, seeing that. It's one of the coolest moments for me to watch. Just seeing the passion that he brought to the game, and the intensity he brought to the game, his preparation, his mindset. It's just something that I try to emulate too.
Back to the point of attack defenders in Darvin's defensive schemes.
Yeah.
And he's so good at that. Obviously, he's sidelined right now, and Gabe was kind of brought in here in part because he did that in Miami. How have you kind of picked up that skill set? What does it require to be good at that?
First off, just watching those guys, watching Vando, watching Gabe in the preseason and when he was playing some games, watching how he attacks that. Cam too this year, has been really good at that as well. So just watching, it's really intensity I feel like that they play, as being a point of attack defender, guarding the ball handler, usually their best player. Just the intensity they bring, the tone that they set to start the game, I think is really important. And so for me, I think I play with a lot of energy a lot of times, so I think it's easy for me to sort of fit in that mold. So tomorrow's going to be that for me if I start on Murray. That's a point of attack defender right there. And so playing with energy, making it as tough as I can for him, being physical. That's how I sort of fit that.
Your name obviously comes up just in trade rumors naturally as somebody that other teams might covet. How do you just kind of tune that out and go about your business playing basketball?
Yeah, that's out of my control. I can do. I've said it a lot of times throughout the year. Just show up and be a pro. That's all I can do. Be professional, show up on time, work as hard as I can, and like I said, the trade rumors are out of my control. So there's nothing I can do about that, and there's no point worrying about it if I can't do anything about it, right? So me just showing up, being the best version of myself, and being the best version I can for this team, or whatever. If I end up on another team, whatever team that is. So right now it's the Lakers, and so all I have to do is be the best version of myself and try to be the best player that I can be.
Are you normally somebody that's online and follows the league on social media and trade rumors and things like that?
A little bit. Probably seen that as much as others. But yeah, I see it.
Next, how much has the game slowed down for you the last month or so?
Yeah, it's slowed down a lot for sure. I think I've gotten a lot of consistent minutes the past month or two, and so, being able to, know that you're going in the game and look what you can really attack on the offensive end, and obviously defensively for me too. So it's slowed down a little bit for sure. Just being able to play consistently, and you got guys like O'Brien, AD, who make it a lot easier for you as a role player. They get a lot of attention on offense, and so just making simple plays with the ball in my hand and then off the ball, making some cuts, being aggressive. So it's slowed down for me for sure.
What was the experience like for you closing New York? Just that stage?
Yeah, it was a really cool experience, let alone in the Guardians or New York. It was at that point. So, for me, it was good to get that experience in a close game against really good players, and so it helped me build my confidence too. And then, as a young player, only 20 years old in my second year, so it felt really good to be out there, just get that experience. I know what to look for in the games. I know what's important at the end of the games, foul situations, and stuff like that. So it was good to get that.